This video is about fear and some of the things we can do to overcome it from my individual perspective as an artist. And you're very welcome. My name is Diarmuid, and I usually make videos about painting and art up in my studio. Because of the circumstances, I'm in a spare room in the house. We're isolating ourselves, and I've set up here to do some watercolours and drawing, should it be necessary. And I'm trying to make this little video here, which is very different, as I said, from what I usually do. So let's get into it. Fear is there. Fear is out there. It's part of all of us. It's actually part of our makeup. Very important part of our makeup as human beings. We probably wouldn't have evolved and survived if it hadn't been for fear to stop us, getting into danger. It's a natural emotion, feeling. I think it's a drive, very important. But there is an aspect to fear which gets blown out. Our mind comes along and twists and distorts it. Again, the human mind can be a great thing, is a great thing, but sometimes it becomes the wild horses that get out of control, as has often been said by many, wise people going back thousands of years. The wild horses, they need to be rightly controlled, and that fear is part of it. It can lead to panic, which can be brought on by other human beings around us, mass panic, and that's probably even more dangerous. It just gets a bit crazy. It can lead to paralysis and depression, and this is very nasty. And it's just something that I have a few practical steps. This is a positive message that we can get out of it. The stuff we can do about this, if we get stuck, if we get paralyzed, if we get into that kind of vicious circle of fear and depression, there is a way out of it, and I'm going to give my little prescription for what that is. Fear is a deadly virus, and as I said, when it gets out of control, really, really bad. The human mind is a wonderful thing, I guess. We all think, yes, it's great, and it is. It can do wonderful things, but it's also at times not our friend. At times it's giving us the wrong advice, and we need to control it. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind. You do not have power over events. So if you master your mind, you will become strong." You see, we have a choice whether to listen to those other voices, whether we listen to the negative things that our mind is telling us, whether we listen to the cries of mass panic of the rest of humanity. We don't have to. You always have a choice. It's your life, and life is very short. We need to make the most of it, and I think a lot of that is finding out who you are, in order to become my answers would be, creative action, and action through creativity. That's what works for me. I think other things might work for other people, and you've got to try stuff because everyone has a different journey. I've always been like this in my life. I had some misfortunes when I was young, and some tragedies, and I think they may have shaped my attitude. So since the age of about 16, when I wanted to become an artist, and I refused to go in certain other directions, I've always kind of sailed in my own course. So I just have some tips, really, some simple tips for things to try to overcome fear. You know, when fear becomes paralyzing, you need to do something. So it starts with action, and any action will do to make a start. And then we kind of get proud of ourselves. We say, oh, I've achieved something. So then challenge yourself. That's number 2. Set yourself the goal to do 2 things tomorrow. I did 1 thing today, and that's great. I feel a little bit better. Tomorrow I'm going to do 2 things. And then you set your goals and you go on from there. Yeah, so number 3, build positive habits that are self-reinforcing. And you start to think, perhaps I'm not as bad as I thought. Number 4, stay busy. Remember, life is very short. Sometimes we're too busy, and I don't really mean that kind of busy. I just mean, you know, to overcome this psychological barrier or block, just achieve something, just do something. And 5, remember, you decide. You can choose where you put your attention. Maybe that's what all of us have, is our focus, our attention, and we can choose where to put it. So thank you very much for watching.